अद्य सिद्धान्तकौमुद्याः स्थिरप्रकरणे दशमः पाठः। नवंबर् मासस्य 20 दिनाङ्कः। येनाक्षरसमां न्यायम् अधिगम्य महेश्वरात् कृत्स्नं व्याकरणं प्रोक्तं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः। वाक्यकारं वर्तरुचिं भाष्यकारं पतञ्जलिं पाणिनिं सूत्रकारं च प्रणतोऽस्मि मुनित्रयं नमस्कृत्य चरक्तिः परिभाव्य च वैयाकरणसिद्धान्तकौमुदीयं विरच्यते। Okay. Does somebody want to volunteer for Ashtadhyaya? Repeating, I teach the first 20 sutras, you have to repeat it twice after me. Anybody? Okay. Ravichandran ji. Okay. Somebody? Hema ji. Would you like to do it?
Yes, Sonia ji.
Yeah. Can we start?
Yeah.
या प्रातिपदिकात् स्वौजसमोच्छस् twice please.
Yeah. Swaujasamouchas
ताभ्यां भिस्
tabhyam this
ङेभ्यां भ्यस्
nebhyam byas
ङसिभ्यां भ्यस्
nasibhyam byas
ङस् ओस् आम्
nas osam
ङ्योस् सुप्
nyo sup
स्त्रियां
siyam
अजाद्यतष्टाप्
ajatyatashthap
ऋन्नेभ्यो ङीप्
ऋन्नेभ्यो नीप्
उगितश्च
उगितश्च
वनोरच
वनोरथ
पादोन्यतरस्यां
पादोन्यतरस्यां
टाब्रचि
तावृचि
न षट्स्वस्रादिभ्यः
न षट्स्वस्तादिभ्यः
मनः अनो बहुव्रीहेः
अनो बहुव्रीहेः
डाब् उभाभ्याम् अन्यतरस्यां
ताबुभाभ्याम् अन्यतरस्याम्
अनुपसर्जनात्
अनुपसर्जनात्
टिड्ढाणै
सिद्धानै
द्वयसच् दघ्नै मात्रच
द्वयसद्दघ्नै मात्रच दघ्नै मात्रच
तयप्ठक्ठै कैक्वरपः
कैक्वरपः
यन्यश्च
यन्यश्च
प्राचां स्फतद्धितः
तद्धितः साक्षाष्ट तद्धितः
सर्वत्र लोहितादिकतन्तेभ्यः
सर्वत्र लोहितादि कदान्तेभ्यः
कतन्तेभ्यः there is a typing error there. कतन्तेभ्यः
सर्वत्र लोहितादि कतन्तेभ्यः सर्वत्र लोहितादि कतन्तेभ्यः
कौरव्यमाण्डूकाभ्यां च
कौरव्य माण्डूकाभ्यां च कौरव्य is it कौरव्य or कौरव्य
yes
कौरव्य
कौरव्य
कौरव्य माण्डूकाभ्यां च कौरव्य माण्डूकाभ्यां च
वयसि प्रथमे
वयसि प्रथमे
द्विगोः
द्विगोः
okay thank you टिड्ढाणि इति सूत्रविषयः समाप्तः सूत्रं कानिचन वार्तिकानि तैः ये शब्दाः निर्दिष्टाः तेभ्यः स्त्रियां नीप् भवति इति दृष्टम् अग्रिमं सूत्रमस्ति यन्यश्च ययः च इति परद्वयं ज्ञाप्रातिपदिकात् इत्यधिकारः स्त्रियाम् इति अनुपसर्जनाद् इति. So these three adhikaras will go on till the end of Stree Pratyaya. So they will not be mentioned in every sutra, but it is assumed that for every sutra from here, I mean, you will have these three adhikaras. ततः अजाद्यतष्टाप् इत्यतः अतः इति अनुवर्तते ऋन्नेभ्यो नीप् इत्यतः नीप् इति अनुवर्तते अतः नीप् विधायकम् इदं सूत्रम् ययन्तात् स्त्रियां नीप् स्यात् यै इति प्रत्ययः तद्धितप्रत्ययः तस्मात् तदन्तात् स्त्रीलिङ्गे नीप् प्रत्ययः भवति इति सूत्रार्थः ययन्तात् इति बालमनोरमायां यद्यपि टिड्ढाणै इति पूर्वसूत्रे एव यै ग्रहणं कर्तुम् उचितम्. If you remember, in the sutra Tidhanai, he has just given a list of pratyayas. There is an, I, etc. So this sutra is telling for yai there is nip. So why not include it in the same list as Tidhanai? Is an obvious question. When you have a list of 11 pratyayas, add one more. And over. Why a separate sutra for yayascha? यद्यपि टिड्ढाणै इति पूर्वसूत्रे एव यै ग्रहणं कर्तुम् उचितम् तथापि प्राचांष्ठतद्धितः इति उत्तरसूत्रे यन्यः एव अनुवृत्तये पृथक् सूत्रम् इति भावः. So the next sutra प्राचांष्ठतद्धितः says ययन्तात् विकल्पेन श्व प्रत्ययः भवति. So that sutra applies only to yai. If this yai is made as a part of Tidhanai, Panini would have to make a separate mention of yai anyway for the next sutra. So instead he just puts it as a separate sutra and takes it as an anuvritti from there. So this sutra and the next one and the one after that, the three sutras will apply only to yai or yayanta, words which end with the suffix yai. Akaralope krute asti. So Dikshita has not yet mentioned what is the example he is taking here. So we go into the Vyakhyana. Akaralope krute say Gargi iti udaharanam vakshyati. So Balamanarama makes it very clear because the actual udaharana in the Kaumudi comes some 3 sutras later. He covers some intermediate sutras and then finally he gives the example. So till then we will not even be able to understand what he is talking about. Right? So he says Gargi iti udaharanam vakshyati. So Gargasya apatyam Stree ityarthe. Gargadibhyo yany iti yany. So this is a yanyanta. On Garga Shabda, we are adding the suffix yany. That is Garga ya. Yanyatatya ityatra nyakarasya halantyam ityanena itsamya lopaha. Garga ya ityaste. Gargalibhyo yany iti yany. Adivruddhihi. तथिते श्वचामादेः इत्यनेन नीति नीति च प्रत्यये परे आदेः वृद्धिः भवति. So the garga becomes garga. Akara is replaced by akara by vruddhi. So it becomes garga ya. Adivruddhiः yasyeti cha iti gakarad akarasya lopaha. So the ending akara is removed by yasyeti cha. So you have garg ya. It became gargya. Now Gargi Shabdat Nipi. You are adding Nip by Yashcha. Yashcha iti sutrena Gargya ityasmat Nip pratyaya kriyate. Nip pratyaya ikaraha shishyate. Gargya I ityaste. Gargya Shabdat Nipi halastathitasya iti yakara lopat paratvat yasyeti cha iti yakara dakarasya lope krite sati prakriya vakshyate ityarthaha. So the next sutra which he will take up is halastathitasya. So before that, paratvat yasyeti cha ityanena akarasya lopa. Ikarasya akarasya cha lopa syat tadhite ikare cha pare. So when followed by an ikara, the previous akara, the akara of gargya, the ending akara of gargya gets deleted. So that is what he means by akara lope krite. Gargya I ityaste. Tatra akarasya lope gargya I iti bhavati. इदानीं किं भवति गार्ग्य इ इत्यस्यां दशायाम् इति दर्शयति दीक्षिताः. अकारलोपे कृते अग्रिमं सूत्रमस्ति हलस्तद्धितस्य. हलः तद्धितस्य इति द्वे पदे सूत्रे. So this does not belong to Stree Pratyaya Prakarana. Obviously this is a sutra dealing with prakriya. So dhelopo akadrvaha ityatah lopaha iti anvartate. Yasyeti cha ityatah iti iti. Suryatishyagastya vatsyanam ya upadhayaha ityatah ya upadhayaha iti anvartate. So it says halah parasya tadhita yakarasya upadhabhutasya lopaha syad iti pare. So you have gargya I, right? So garg y a I ityasti. So tasyam dashayam garg iti gakaraha hal. So ga is a consonant. Tasmat paraha asti tadhita yakaraha. So this yakara is from the suffix yai. Yai iti tadhita pratyayasya yakaraha. Atha tadhita yakaraha. Halah paraha tadhita yakaraha upadhabhutaha. Akaraha asti. यद्यपि अस्येति च इत्यनेन लुप्तः तथापि स्थानिवद्भावेन अतः परस्मिन् पूर्वविधौ इत्यनेन स्थानिवद्भावेन आनीयते. अतः अकारः अस्ति यकारः उपधाभूतः. अलोन्त्यात् पूर्व उपधा. The letter preceding the last letter of a particle is called upadha. So yakara is in the upadha considering the akara. So it is preceded by a hal and it is followed by a akara, that is, it is in the upadha. Halah parasya tadhita yakarasya upadha bhutasya lopaha syat iti pare. Iti nama ikare pare. Gargya I iti ikara parakatvam asti. Ataha saha yakaraha lupyate. Gargi iti rupam. Gargya I iti sthite yakarasya lope. Garg I gargi. Gargasya apatyam Stree, the daughter of Garga. Ityarthe Gargi iti rupam. So that is an example for Yayashcha. So Gargi is the example for Yayashcha. Neep by Yayashcha. Yayantat Striyam neep syat. Now there is a Vartika related to it. Anapatyadhikarasthat na neep. This neep by Yayashcha applies only to the Yai Pratyaya which is being told in the Apatyadhikara apatya adhikara again is a part of tadhitas. There are many adhikaras in the tadhitas. The apatya adhikara is one of them. Tasyapatyam iti sutradarabhya apada parisamapti ayam adhikara gacchati. So from 4192 till the end of that pada, which is 41178, we have the apatya adhikara. Okay. So the yai which is given by a sutra within this adhikara, so such yayantas will get neep. So udaharanam pradarshite dvipe bhava dvaipya. She who resides in an island. Ityarthe dvipad anusamudram yai iti sutrena yai pratyayah kriyate. Saha pratyayah apatyadhikare nasti. Okay, so it is 4-3-10. It does not fall within the apatyadhikara, and therefore there is no neep here, and there is tap. Neepaha bhave ajaditastap ityane tap bhavati. Dvipe bhava ate dvaipya. Dvipa ityasmat yai pratyayah. Dvipa ya ityasti. Adivruddhau dvaipa ya. Yasyati cha iti akara lope dvaipya ajaditastap इत्यनेन तापि कृते द्वैप्या इति रूपं भवति. So अत्र नीप् न भवति. कुतो न भवति? इदं वार्तिकमस्ति अनपत्याधिकारस्थात्. अपत्याधिकारस्थः यः यञ् तदन्तादेव नीप्. तद्भिन्नात् नीप् न भवति. ययन्तादपि नीप् न भवति इत्यर्थः. अधिकारग्रहणात् नेह देवस्य अपत्यं दैव्या. The Vartika says anapatya adhikarasthat. It does not say anapatya arthat. There is apatya artha is to mean apatyam. Dashathasya apatyam or gargasya apatyam is apatya artha. But he says apatyadhikara. That is that which falls within the adhikara. Okay. So there are some sutras which, some pratyayas which can be applied in apatya artha, but they do not fall under this adhikara. The sutra is not given under this adhikara. So, tena sutrena yadi yai pratyayah bhavati, tarhi tatrapi neep na bhavati. Sutram apatyarthe yai pratyayah apatyadhikarasthena sutrena vihitasyat. The yai should be given by a sutra which falls within the apatyadhikara. Atah अन्यम् उदाहरणं अन्यदुदाहरणं प्रदर्शयति. अधिकारग्रहणात् नेह देवस्य अपत्यं दैव्या इत्यस्ति. देवाद्ययौ इति वार्तिकम् इति यै प्राग्दिव्यतीयः न तु अपत्याधिकारपठितः. So this is actually a vartika. Pragdivyatone iti adhikaraha asti. So the adhikara comes before tasya apatyam. Apatyadhikarat Pragdivyato and ityadhikare Dityaditya patyuttara padanyah iti sutre. So this sutra number is 4185. Patitam idam vartikam. So this vartika belongs to 4185, which falls outside the apatyadhikara. Yadyapi apatyarthe atra yai asti. Devasya apatyam ityarthe eva yai, kintu apatyadhikare nasti. So why is it not an apatyadhikara and all is, when we go to tadhitas we'll understand, but this sutra is not in the apatyadhikara. Ataha asmat nyayantat neep na bhavati tabeva bhavati. अग्रिमं सूत्रमस्ति प्राचां ष्ठ तद्धितः. त्रीणि पदानि ययः इति अनुवर्तते. ययन्तात् ष्ठः वा स्यात् स्त्रियां स च तद्धितः. So this is an optional thing. The first one was we had neep, which is fine. इदानीं अपरः प्रत्ययः विधीयते विकल्पेन प्राचाम् इत्यस्य विकल्पेन इत्यर्थः. विकल्पेन ष्ठ इति प्रत्ययः विधीयते स च तद्धितः, and that ष्ठ should be designated as a tadhita. Tadhita pratyaya is normally one which falls under the tadhita adhikara, which starts later in the same pada. This sutra is not in the tadhita adhikara, but he is specifically mentioning that the shpa will be a tadhita pratyaya. So there is a reason why he wants it to be tadhita. So we will see. So gargya ityasti gargasya apatyam ityarthe garga shabdat gargadibhyo yanya iti sutrat yai iti pratyaya bhavati garga ya asti adivriddhihi yasyati chati akara lopah gargya iti rupam. So gargya ityatmat anena sutrena shpa iti pratyaya bhavati gargya shpa. Shah pratyayasya. So this is one of the it samya sutras. We already studied a few. We studied upadeshe jananasika it halantyam chutu lashakka tadhite etc. So this is one more shah pratyayasya. Upadeshe jananasika it ityatah it itena vartate adir etudavah ityatah adihi itena vartate pratyayasya adihi shah it syat. So a shakara, which is at the beginning of a pratyaya, will be called it. We have so far not seen any pratyayas which begin with shakara. So now he says that pratyaya which begins with sha, the sha will get it samya. So gargya ityasmat shpa. There is a typing error. It is not shpa, it is shpa. महाप्राणः फकारः शकारः इत्सम्यकः तस्य लोपः इत्यनेन लोपः गाढ्य फ इति भवति. आयनेनीयः फढखझघां प्रत्ययादीनाम् इति सूत्रम्. So it has three words. There is no problem in getting the words, but within the word ayan, eya, in, iya, y. So be very careful about learning the sutra. When learning, you have to learn it properly. Otherwise, it will lead to a lot of confusions later. Pratyaya, which is widely used in prakriyas. Very simple. It just gives a direct adesha for a few letters. But unless you remember it properly or learn it properly, you will not be able to know what is an adesha for what. There can be confusions both in the first word and the second. So pha, dha, kha, cha, gham. So there are 5 letters. So for these 5 letters, these 5 will be the adesha pratyayadinam when they are at the beginning of a pratyaya. So pratyayadi bhutanam phadinam kramat ayannadayah adeshah syuh. Yatha sankhya paribhashaya kramena anvayah. So if there is a phakara at the beginning of a pratyaya, that is replaced by ayan. If there is dha, it is replaced by aya. If there is kha, it is replaced by in. If it is cha, it is i. And if it is gha, it is i. So these 5 are the adeshas. There is no anurti. Very simple sutra. So pratyayadi bhutanam pradi fadinam kramat ayannadayah adeshah syuh. इदानीं किमस्ति गार्ग्य फ इत्यस्ति फकारः प्रत्ययस्य आदौ अस्ति तस्य स्थाने आयन् इति आदेशः. The akara will remain, only the ph, the single letter will be replaced by ayan. So ayana iti bhavati. Fakarasya ayan iti adeshe ayaneniyah gargya ayana ityasti yasyati cha ityanena akarasya lopah gargyi ayana gargyayana iti jatam. Tadhitantatvat pratipadikatvam. So this is the reason why he made it a tadhita. Rajam shpa tadhitaha iti uchyate. Kimartham shpa ityasya tadhitatvam iti chete pratipadikatva sadhanartham. So this needs to be a pratipadika. So to make it a pratipadika, we need tadhita samasascha. Tadartham shpa pratyayah tadhitaha iti visheshena uktam. So pratipadikatva Shitva samarthyate shphena uktepi stritve shidgauradibhyascha iti vakshyamana nish. Now in this shpa pratyaya, the shakara is it. Itsamyaya tasya lopah. Itsamyayaha kim prayojanam iti prashnah. always in grammar, wherever a particle is removed by it samya, it has to satisfy some prayojana. There has to be some reason why some letter is being given the it samya. It is not just a play. I mean, you cannot just put a letter in there and send it away. It is never heard in prayoga, it is true. But there is a reason why it was there and why it went away. Now, Panini, if he just wanted to get the form Pratyaya, he could have said Pracham Pha. He is specifically mentioning that Shakara, and that Shakara is being given the it samya. Kim prayojanam iti prashna. Shit Gauradibhyascha iti sutram asti agre. So we'll see that in the Stree Pratyaya Prakaranam itself. Shit, if a particle is shit, shakara, mudhanya shakara being it, then it gets nish pratyaya. The Stree Pratyaya will be nish. So this shpa, the shitva samarthyat, nish pratyaya bhavati. Because it is shit, even though shpa itself is a Stree Pratyaya, you never add two Stree Pratyayas. I mean, if you either add tap or neep or nish, you cannot add tap and neep or tap and nish. It makes no sense because there should be one suffix to indicate the femininity, and it can be any of those. Now the suffix shpa is already indicating stritva, so there is actually no necessity for another Stree Pratyaya. Kintu shitva samarthya shakaraha itsamyakaha asti tasya kim prayojanam iti cheta tasya samarthyat shphena ukte api stritve yadyapi shpa pratyayah swayam Stree pratyayah tenaiva स्त्रीत्वस्य द्योतनं भवति तथापि षिद्गौरादिभ्यश्च इति वक्ष्यमाणः नीष् तत्र नीष् प्रत्ययः अपि भवति सो गार्ग्यायन इत्यस्मात् नीषि गार्ग्यायन ई इत्यस्ति यस्य इति च इति अकारलोपे गार्ग्यायन ई अट्कुप्पाङ्गं व्यमायेपि इत्यनेन णत्वे गार्ग्यायणी इति रूपम् गर्गस्य अपत्यं स्त्री इत्यर्थे ययश्च इत्यनेन ङीपि गार्गी इति रूपम् प्राचांशतथितः इत्यनेन ष्ठ प्रत्यये ततः षिद्गौरादिभ्यश्च इति ङीषि गार्ग्यायणी इति अपरं रूपम्. So there are two forms. It can either be gargi or gargyayani. अद्वयं सूत्रमस्ति सर्वत्र लोहितादि कथन्तेभ्यः. पदद्वयं सर्वत्र लोहितादि कथन्तेभ्यः. यश्च इत्यतः यन्यः इति अनुवर्तते. प्राचांशतथितः इत्यतः ष्फतथितः इति अनुवर्तते. सर्वत्र इति. So the previous sutra he said pracham. It is only in the east. That is, it was an option. But here he says sarvatra. So sarvatra iti pratike vyakhyani. Lohitadihi gargadyantarganaha. Okay. So we have gargadibhyo yayi. There is yayi pratyaya by gargadi. So gargadi is a gana. Now lohitadi is an antargana. It is a subclass of gargadi. That is, there is a set of words in the gargadi gana. The lohitadi gana is an antargana. It is a subclass of gargadi. Okay. So tatra gargadi antargana lohita shabdat lohitadihi gargadi antargana lohitah adihi esham iti katah antah esham iti cha vigraha. So starting from lohita till the word kata, katanta. So it should actually be katanta. So there is always a confusion regarding this. Is it katanta or katanta? Because kata anta, if you do savarna dirgha, it should be katanta. But it is not. Katanta ityatra shakandhvaditvat pararupam. There is a pararupa here. Like you have shaka andhuhu shakandhuhu. Shakandhvadishu pararupam vachyam iti vartikam adhitam acchundi prakarane. So here also by that vartika there is pararupa. So it is always katantebhyaha and not katantebhyaha. सर्वत्र लोहितादि कथन्तेभ्यः ययः इति अनुवृत्तं बहुवचनान्ततया परिणम्यते प्राचांष्ठतथितः इति सूत्रं प्राचां वर्जम् अनुवर्तते. अदर देन् प्राचां, so that other two words तथितः इति अनुवर्तते. सर्वत्र इति सर्वेषु mateषु इत्यर्थः. नित्यम् इति यावत्. So it means compulsorily. It means according to, in all views. सर्वत्र सर्वेषु mateषु इत्यर्थः. So लोहितादिभ्यः ततशब्दान्तेभ्यः ययन्तेभ्यः नित्यं श्भः स्यात्. So there is a compulsory shpha pratyaya. So Ravichandranji, you have a question?
No, I think one of the commentators is telling the sarvatra is anukarshana there for prachansva tadita sarvatra. Prachansva tadita hai. There the sarvatra was actually anukarshana of this sarvatra here. Then the question was asked, then why put sarvatra in sarvatra lohita kadebhya? It said it is for the speshtartha, for clarity. That is what
why sarvatra required in prachamshvatadhitah, but it is because it's an optional, right? Sarvatra, I mean, it is prachamshvatadhitah is vaikalpika. It should not apply everywhere. It apply, I mean, if it applies everywhere, you will not have the form gargi.
Gargi, right?
You need a gargi and gargyayani. Both forms are correct. So it is optional.
It's optional. Okay.
So I mean, just tell me which comment you.
Yeah, let me. I'll give you the exact text of it. Maybe I interpret.
Because there should be a reason why
they
do apakasthana.
Yeah.
So I'll look it up.
Yeah, definitely.
But as far as I can see, that is an optional sutra, and this is compulsory because there is no optional form. So, lohitadibhyah katashabdantebhyah niyantebhyah nityam shphah syat. Lohitayani. So, if you look at the vyakhyana for its derivation, lohitasya apatyam stree iti vigrahah. So, lohitadi, the first word in this subgana, that is the subclass or antargana, is lohita. Lohita shabdat gargadi yayantat shphah. So first we do gargadibhyam yaha. So it becomes lohita ya adibhyutthau akaralope lauhitya iti bhavati. So lauhitya ityasmat shphah. Sha it shakarah shah pratyasya ityanena itsamyam prapnoti. Hakarasya ayan. Ayaneyah padakajagam pratyadinam ityanena hakarasya sthane ayan adesha. So you have lauhitya ayan. Yasyeti cha iti yakara nakarasya lopah. So lauhitya ayana, lauhityayana yasti. Tadhita iti shitvat nish. So there is shitva and there is nish, pratipadikatva, nish bhavati. So lauhityayana I yasti. Punah yasyeti cha iti yakara lope, lauhityayani iti rupam. Evam katyayani, katasya patyam Stree. Pratyayani is a very famous name for Gauri or Parvati. She was born in the Kata Gotra. Kata is a rishi, so Gotra Patyam. So Katasya Patyam Stree. Ityarthe Kata ityasmat gargadibhyo yai iti yai yayantat shphaha shphantat nish. So there are three pratyayas there. There is yai, which is the Katya. The first ya is from yai. Next, the ayan is from shpha and the e is from nish. So there are three pratyayas in a sequence there. So the form is katyayani. Agrimam sutramasti kauravya mandukabhyancha. प्राचां श्भ तद्धितः इत्यतः श्भ तद्धितः इति अनुवर्तते. आभ्यां श्भः स्यात्. So for these two words there is shpha. Okay. So they are taken separately because they are not yayantas. They do not belong in the gargati gana and they are not yayantas. Yayantatvam nasti. Atah prithag uchyate. Yayantatvam bhavepi shpha प्रत्ययः भवति इति क्रमेण टाब् ङीषोर् अपवादः. So he says for Kauravya there should have been ta. So the question is what would have happened in the absence of this sutra? They are not yayantas. अतः येश्च इति ङीप् न भवति. किं भवति इति प्रश्नः. टाब् ङीषोः अपवादः. कुर्वादिभ्यो ण्यः इति कुरु शब्दात् ण्य प्रत्ययः. So you have kuru ya आदिवृद्धौ कौरु ya and then there is guna and kauro ya and there is avadesha by vantoyi pratyaya. So there is kauravya. So kauravya ityasmat, if in the absence of this particular sutra ajadyatastap ityane tap bhavati sma. So there should have been tap. So tapah apavadattvena atra shpha pratyayah vidhiyate. shpha iti krute kauravyayana iti bhavati. shitvat nish shidroradibhyascha iti nish kauravyayani iti rupa. In case of manduka, dhakcha mandukat ityanna. So it is, there should have been anna pratyaya by dhakcha mandukat. Now the question is, if it is annanta, tidhana ityanena neep bhavet kila. It should have been tap neepor apavadaha. Why is he saying tap nishor apavadaha? Question. So he says, gotrancha charanai saha iti jatitvat jatera stri vishayat iti nish praptaha. So in the absence of this sutra, it is a jati. We'll see this sutra later again. Jatera stri vishayat ayopadha, where a gotra is also considered as a jati vachaka, and therefore from that sutra there would have been nish. Okay. So as an apavada to that nish, he is giving shpha. So shpha pratyaye krute punaha nishi, and then there is nish by shidgoradibhyascha. So there is shpha followed by nish. So the form is mandukayani, kauravyayani, mandukayani iti rupa. So there are only two forms which are being given by this sutra, kauravya mandukabhyam cha. Asure upasankhyanam vartikam. So Arayani iti udaharanam. So the Vartikakara is adding one more shabda to shpha, which is asuri. So asurayani. Asurasya apatyam Stree iti vigraha. The daughter of an asura. Ata I ityanena apatyarthe I pratyaya. Just like we have Dasharathasya apatyam Dasharathihi, asurasya apatyam asurihi iti bhavati. Asura ityasmat I pratyaya adivadhihi. So you have asuri. shpaha. Asure rupasankhyanam iti vartikena shpaha. Sha it ayanna. So it is asurayanna. Yasyati cha. So the asurayan, asuri ityatra ikaraha lupyate. So it becomes asurayana. Shitvat nish. Shidgoradibhyascha iti sutrena nish. So asurayana I. Yasyati cha iti punaha akarasya lopaha. Asurayani अस्ति णत्वं रेफं निमित्तीकृत्य अट्कुप्पाङ्गं व्यवायेति इत्यनेन णत्वे आसुरायणी इति रूपम्. So it's just adding one word to it, nothing very special about the word. Vayasi prathame is the next sutra. Ajadyatashta ityatah atah ityena vartate. Dvanyebhyo ङीप् इत्यतः ङीप् इत्येन वर्तते. So vayasi prathame. It's an interesting discussion in the commentary. So the meaning of this is obvious. Prathame vayasi. So in the first age, it is not the first year. It says the first age. So what are the classifications of age? What is it? So pranina kalakrita avastha visheshah vayaha. So what is vayas? What is age? Prashnaha. Praninam kalakrita avastha visheshah. So there is a difference in the organs in an organism based on time. So as in you have a baby, so its organs develop and it develops into a young man, and the organs they develop and finally they start deteriorating, and then there is old age. So there is a avastha vishesha based on kalakrita. So it is a function of time. So praninam kalakrita avastha vishesha vayah. Tacha kaumaram yauvanam vardhakam cha iti tridha. So that age is divided into three kinds: kaumara, yauvana, vardhaka. So childhood, adulthood, or yavana is actually youth or adulthood, and vardhaka is old age. It is tridha. So it is of three kinds. So a very famous shloka: Pita rakshati kaumare, bharta rakshati yavane, putrastu sthavire bhave. So that he gives three divisions. So kaumara, yavana, and sthavira, which is vardhaka. So that is one kind. Iti darshanat. Chaturvidham vayah ityanye. There are some other people who consider that age is divided into four. So there is another shloka. This one. Adye vayasi nadhitam, dvitiye narjitam dhanam, tritiye na tapastaptam, chaturthe kim karishyati. So it says Adya Vayasi na Adhitam. Very nice Subhashita. I mean, the first age, which is during the childhood, and is na Adhitam. One did not study. So it implies that the first age is for learning. From the moment a child is born till it attains yavana, it is a constant age of learning, whether it is learning to live or whatever, the artificial adhyayana. So everything, that is the age to study. So adya vayasi na adhitam. So there was no study in the first. Dvitiye dhanam na architam. The next stage is meant for earning and satisfying the desires. Kama. Artha and kama come in that next stage. So dvitiye dhanam na architam. Tritiye na tapastaptam. The next, as the person starts aging, he should turn towards spirituality or self-realization. Tapaha. Penance is prescribed for that age. Tritiye na tapastaptam. When he did not do penance, chaturthe kim karishyati. So what will happen in the fourth stage? That is, whatever is prescribed for that stage should be done. When he has not done anything, the final stage is meant for sannyasa and moksha. So what will he do? I mean, even that will not be achieved. Ityarthe subhashitam. Tatra prathame dvitiye tritiye chaturthe iti chaturtha vayah iti vibhaktam. It does not mention what they are called as, but it divides the lifetime of a person into four. So in either case, prathame vayasi always refers to balya or childhood. Iti darshanat. Prathame vayasi ityanantaram vidyamanat iti sheshaha. Sutre. Prathame vayasi vidyamanat. Ityarthaha. Ajadyatashta apityadah ataha ityanuvruttena pratipadikaat ityadhikritam visheshyate. Tadanta vidhi striyam iti adhikritam. Vridnebhyaha ityatah neep iti anuvartate. So all that we saw. Tadaha prathama vyomachinaha iti. So the sutrartha will be prathama vyomachinaha adantat striyam neep syat. So a word which indicates the first age, prathama vayah. So tasmat adantat, if it is a hrasvakaranta, strilinge neep pratyayah bhavati ityarthaha. Kumari iti udaharanam. Kumara ityasmat Kumara shabdasya apradhurbhuta yavana ityarthaha. So when the youth has not yet set in, such age is called Kaumara. Okay. So there are again different pakshas as to when Kaumara ends and when Yavana begins. Some people say it is Kaumara till 12, till 14. So there are different ages. But anyway, Kumari is a girl. So Kumara ityasmat नीप प्रत्यय कुमार ई इत्यस्ति यस्यति च इति अकारलोपे कुमारी इति रूपम्. So actually Bala should have got neep by Vaisik Prathame. That is why in Ajadyatashta kim Bala Vatsa Hodha Mala Vilata Esha Vaisik Prathame iti neep praptaha. So Diksha says there should have been neep by Vaisik Prathame because it indicates the first childhood, first age. Kintu Ajadigane Pathat. Ajadyuktihi nishaha nipashcha badhanaya. So inclusion in the Ajadi Gana will overrule this neep. That is why we have Bala, Balika, we have Ta instead of neep. So Kumari iti vayasi prathame ityasya udaharanam. Vayasya charama iti vakyam. So the Vartikakara makes a correction. He says it's not only the first age. Acharame vayasi. It is other than the last stage. It is for both the first and second, or first, second, third, whatever you take. So for both Kaumara and Yauvana, he says this will apply. Vayasya charama iti. So charamam nama antyam vayaha, the last age. Tadbhinnam acharamam. So other than that you have acharama. Prathame iti apaniya. So in the sutra, vayasi prathame ityatra, prathame iti apaniya, acharame iti vaktavyam. So Panini should have said vayasya charame and not vayasi prathame. Why? Kimartham ityataha vadhuti chiranti. Two examples he is giving where there is neep. Vadhuta ityas shabdati neepi vadhuti iti bhavati. Chiranta shabdati neepi chiranti iti bhavati. Vadhuta chiranta shabdau yuvana-vachikam. So Vadhuti and Chiranti is a Yuvati ityartha. It means a young woman. So Yuvana-vachi. Here it is not Prathamam Vayaha. Still there is neep and there is no other sutra which can give neep. So the Vartikakara says Anena eva sutrena neep bhavati vayasya charame iti vaktavyam. Atah kim shishuhu. Adantan, Prathama Vayomachinaha, Adantat Striyam Neep Bhavati iti uktam. Only if it is an Akaranta. So why? Shishuhu ityasti Ukaranta Shabdaha. So since Prathama Vayomachipyeti, even though it indicates the Prathama Vaya, it is not Rasvakaranta, and therefore there is no neep. Pullinge api, Strilinge api, Shishuhu ityeva Rupam. There is no Stree Pratyaya being added there. Kanyaya na, kanyayah kanina cha iti nirdesha. There is one more word, kanya. So that also indicates, like Kumari, it is a girl. Tatrapi neep prapnoti, kintu na bhavati. Kanyayah kanina cha iti nirdesha. Panini has used the word in a sutra called kanyayah kanina cha, but he has used it as tabanta, being kanya, and there is no neep. So, because of the pramana of Paniniya prayoga, using Panini's usage itself as a pramana, there is no neep there. So kanya ityeva rupam. So we'll stop here for today. Any questions?
Somyaji, the Sarvatra was, I think the point was that Lohita is Antaragana of Gargadi. So why he put Sarvatra? That was Niyamartha.
Niyamartha?
Because the Prachamspa, that is optional, right?
Yeah.
So for Lohitaji, it's Sarvatra always. So the question was that if it is already Lohita is already included within the Gargadi Gana, then why put Sarvatra? So that was for Niyamartha. It's not optional. So always Lohitadi Gana will get Spa.
Yes, true. Okay. So it is not Apakarshana.
No, it is not. I think I was looking at some other sutra that point got crossed.
Okay. Yeah, fine.
So can't Kanya
fine.
be? So can't Kanya be in the Ajadi Gana? So make it Ajadi top.
I mean that is what it will finally come. I mean, whenever we are using such things, since Ajadi is an Akriti Gana, we put it in the Akriti Gana. But again, to put it in the Akriti Gana, we need some pramana on why we are doing it. So he says Panini himself has used the word. So
is there any rules for expanding the Ganas?
It is not rule, but I mean you cannot simply do it. It is not arbitrary. There has to be some strong pramana, like Shishta Prayoga. By pramana it is always Prayoga Pramana. There should be a Prayoga which needs to be justified. Shishta Prayoga. So it is only for that we expand Ganas. Okay. So here he is showing that Panini himself has used it, so we use such Prayogas. So what we do is generally, if it is some other Prayogas, and Prayoga by others, other shishtas, we put it into the gana and substantiate it. But if it is prayoga by Panini or Bhashyakara himself, we take that as a direct pramana. We assume, Vyakaranas assume that does not need any other pramana. So we take the prayogas of Munitraya itself as pramana, and therefore there are many cases we say nirdeshat. Because of Paninian usage or because of Bhashyakara's usage, we simply accept it, assuming that it does not need any other stamp of Vyakarana, because they are Vyakaranas themselves. So there are two ways where they are teaching the right thing. They either make the rules, but more than the rules, they by their prayogas they show what is the correct usage. That is the outlook.
I think one of the interesting thing in Vaisi Prathame is that it should be directly relating to the age. It cannot be indirect. I think the Tattva Bodhinikara says Lohita Pada or something like that.
Yeah, Dvitiya or
it has to be directly telling an age, not
so
like a
you are
Lohita
saying
Pada.
what is that? Dvivarsha Stree ityasti. So there is a question. Dvivarsha Stree. So a woman or a child, girl child, which is 2 years old. Okay, when you are saying Dvivarsha, so it refers to the age and it is the first age because it is 2 years old. So will we have need there by Vaisi Prathame is a question. So Dvivarsha is not a Vayovachi by its, I mean, it Vayas, that is why the commentator defined Vayas initially. He said Praninam Avasthakrita Kalakrita Avastha Visheshaha. Now Dvivarsha can apply not only to pranis, it can be anything. It can be a school, it can be a house 2 years old. When you're saying that and you're saying Vayaha, it is different. I mean, even though we translate it as the same thing, it is 2 years old. Well, in English it is the same, whether it is a house or a child or a man, it might be the same. But in Sanskrit, it is wrong to say that Tasyaha Shalayaha Vayaha, whatever, 2. It is not the age. Okay. So because the Vayaha refers only to pranis, praninam kalakrita avastha visheshaha, Vayaha. So here Dvivarsha is just referring to a time and it is not referring to Vaya as such, and therefore there is no need there.
Thanks.
Okay. Any other questions? So Ravichandranji will discuss about your questions before next class.
Okay, definitely. Thank you.
एनाक्षरसमाम्नायमधिगमहेश्वरात् व्याकरणं प्रोक्तं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः। मुनित्रयं नमस्कृत्य तदुक्तिः परिभाव्य च वैयाकरणसिद्धान्तकौमुदीयं विरच्यते।
The organizer